Hey guys, do me a favor. I'm using a mic here. If you can hear me, drop a 1 in the chat, please, because I don't know if it says the mic is working, but you may not be able to hear me well. I'm hoping it's set up right. Okay, good. Or if you can, is it really loud? Because this is the first time I'm going live on this channel. Okay, good. And my voice is a little hoarse. I can't help it. It's the way it is in the mornings. Anyway, okay, good. Thank you guys for doing that, because I was trying real hard. Okay, good. Yay. Because you can't see it on camera, but there's a mic right next to me because I've had problems with audio in the past. So, yay. Thanks for coming over from Vangirl Cheryl's channel. I appreciate it, guys. Since this is my very first Wellness Wednesday, that's what I'm calling it. And I do have notes because I don't want to get too off track. But, yeah, look, the van. I'm in the van. The van's back. Yay, after 4 very, very long months. I keep hitting the mic. I'm sorry if it's screeching at you. I'm going to jump over to the YouTube side. I'm on StreamYard, and I just want to see if it will let me make you Evening Shade Wanders, the new channel. Let me do it. Let me do it. Just 1 second, guys. Oh, there it is. If the chat wasn't jumping. Okay. I don't know what's up. So you should turn blue. Okay, here we go. Girl Shirley, thank you. Thanks for standing over 40 minutes in. It just flies by when I'm trying to adjust everything. Okay, if you see a big mess, if I move or anything, and you see a bunch of like covers messed up, it's because Sage is under covers right next to me. So cozy. It's glitching. There we go. We're back. Kind of working things out since it's my first live. All right, let's see. Live. As soon as this live is over, we're going to jump over to my video premiere. So at 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern, we're going to jump over because I have a video premiere that's on genetics, and it's on my entire story of my family tree. It shows, you know, very personal pictures, medical records, like stuff that I rarely show. Anyway, that video's pretty emotional. I get a little emotional during it, you'll see. Anyway, it's kind of related to what I'm doing on this live, so I just kind of thought they'd be good to bounce off each other, kind of. So that's why there's a live and then a premiere. And I'm going to try to do that every week, just a 30-minute live, kind of introducing what the premiere is about. And there'll be a lot of medical topics, but also medicine versus Western medicine, and using both, because I use both. I incorporate both in my life, and I think you can do both. So the channel is going to be showing how I make my salves, my tinctures, all of my wellness stuff is going to be included in this channel, because I haven't shown that stuff before. I haven't shown how I make things. I had an entire business around it for 5 years. So I did have to close my full-time business because it was too much for me with all my health issues, but that's another story. So let me say hi to some people in the chat real quick, and then we'll get going on the genetics part that I want to talk about. And you can see up at the pinned comment at the top is where the video premiere link is for after this. Yeah, that's better, Lori. Let me show you this comment. Yeah, because like Lori and I discussed, I'm from California, so not the East Coast or whatever, and I didn't understand what evening shade meant, because I don't really get evening shade around here. We just don't. So I didn't know what it really meant to do with her channel and stuff, and I could never find her channel. Like when I'd put evening shade in, it would never come up. So I'm hoping that evening shade wanders will come up easier when people look for you. Oh yeah, get your coffee ready, Dee. I had a cup of coffee, and then I have tea now. And I'll probably make a new cup for the premiere, since it's kind of an emotional one. All right, and I'm going to give you a little synopsis of what this channel is now about. And if you don't know, I'm a public health nurse and RN for the last 20 years. Even though I had to medically retire from, like, I guess, bedside nursing or direct patient care, I'm still an RN. I've maintained my license, so I can still practice in the state of California. It is a genetic condition that I'm talking about in the premiere today. But it really affected 4 generations that I know of. And advocate for yourself and find healing through knowledge and nature, basically. And I use Eastern and Western medicine in my own life. In other words, I make tinctures, I drink teas, I make salves, I spend a lot of time in nature, which is why I do van life. So you guys are here at the very first Wellness Wednesday. So the genetic condition I have affects 1 in 5,000 people. But here's the kicker, and why I'm advocating so hard, is it takes about 12 to 15 years to get diagnosed on average. And that's, in my case, it's taken a very long time, like my entire life, and I'm 53, to get diagnosed. So if you guys ever do you have people, or you've been told in your family with some kind of issues you have, that it runs in your family, but then doctors have never said how, why, what you have that's been actually running in your family? Because that's, like, we've had a mysterious thing. Our family's history was mysterious for all these decades, basically. So if you're one of those people, drop a 1 in the chat. Because I'm hoping to help other people solve their genetic family histories and such. Because that's what I'm doing, why I started to share all this. Oh, there you go. Joanne's in the house. I know Joanne suffers from a lot of health issues as well. She has a lot of the same treatments I do. So, thanks for coming in, Joanne. Yeah, I haven't talked a lot, like on the other channel, Just Roll With Us, which was Van Life Voyages. I really didn't go too far into my own conditions as much. I preferred to concentrate on Derek and the wheelchair stuff, but I did a few times go into some personal stuff, but really I haven't. Until today's premiere, it lays it all out. And you'll kind of be shocked. I have my... Everybody's going to be like, how in the world do you function like that? And so well, that's what the people are going to think. They're going to be like, you're that big of a train wreck, but yet you look like you function so well. So, yeah, looks are deceiving sometimes, or you can just like have a good attitude. And that's my main thing is I think you can have a good attitude no matter what you're feeling, basically. So, yeah, like I try not to dwell on anything. I'm not a complainer. So, like Derek will tell you, I'm never complaining. I'm just doing what I got to do. But it's rough. It's rough. Okay. Let me put that up so they know what I'm referring to. Okay, I have 8 people in the chat. Thanks for coming to my very first Wilderness Wednesday. Hopefully I get it together. This is going to be a little, it's a little nerve-wracking for me. I'm never one that loved to be live. I'm just not that type. But I just, I'm building this community and I just want everybody to be able to ask questions or, communicate with each other. Not just chat, on videos, but in life. Okay, that's okay. This right here, this comment was on my notes. I never knew much about my family history. It really wasn't discussed with me. We just knew some members required different things. But that is literally a lot of people's answer. Like, I think it's the most popular answer to that question. It's not really that most people know, it's that most people actually don't know multi-generational stuff. So that's why it took me so many years, and I'm an RN. So imagine if you're an RN and you know a lot of medical, I went to nursing school for 5 years because I have a bachelor's degree. Then I went and got my almost master's. It's a public health nurse and school nurse credential. So I have a lot of knowledge, and it still took me all this time because most people don't discuss a lot of family issues like that. So I'm glad you made that comment, Shirley, because that is a huge thing and why it took me so long. One reason. Oh yeah, thank you. If you hit the like, that will help them push it out. But I'm glad you said that because that was going to be my next thing, and you went right into it, Shirley. Right into it. It's on the list because that was the biggest one. I was going to say next because that's the true answer that most people have. Let's see. Oh, what else is on my notes here? Okay, how many of you are the first person in your family that you know of with specific, diagnosis? And you're like, well, nobody else in my family has it that you know of, right? Because oh, thank you so much, Joanne. I'm trying really hard to go out of my comfort zone. Let's put it that way. My comfort zone is behind the camera, following people, interviewing, stuff like that. My comfort zone is not to be like the main person in the channel. That's why if we had a dual channel. But now this channel is mine because Derek wants to be more private now and wants to not, he doesn't mind if I film him here and there, but he just doesn't want to be constantly on YouTube. Okay. Now, with celiac, my family realized they had to get tested because it's hereditary. Yes. Yes, 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 it is. I do have a, it's not celiac because I was tested, but I do have a gluten intolerance, but it's not severe to where if I eat a little bit of gluten, I suffer. It's if I eat too much, like it'll make me bloated and uncomfortable. So it's an intolerance, it's not an allergy, and it's not celiac. I want people to know that. So if I eat a little gluten, I'm not going to die because I don't have actual celiac. So Dee's family has a lot of autoimmune diseases. But she also has stuff that the rest of her siblings don't have. Yeah, because lifestyle, that's what I'm going to get into next. Environment and lifestyle plays into all this. So you might have a lot of the same things as your family that are maybe genetic, but then there's environment and lifestyle that adds into if you develop something or not. Like there's people with autoimmune diseases that have, or just immune diseases that get along just fine and barely have any symptoms, and then there's others that it affects severely, that type of thing. You have learned well how to cope. I don't know what I would have done without learning them when I was in RN school. I hope you can maybe teach some of these sweet people. Yeah, I'm going to. That's what this channel is about. Like, and why. And I don't know if you guys know, and this is kind of funny. I made this channel, not the channel for a YouTube channel, but the name I had on YouTube as my personal YouTube where you can go into other people's chats. It's not as Van Life Voyages, but my personal, I guess, channel. And then because TLC is my initials, everybody thinks nurse, tender loving care, or whatever, nice nurse, whatever it means, but it's really my true initials. So nurse, and then those TLC is my initials. So I just thought it was funny. And then when I decided to, do more like this type of stuff, education, chronic illness, how to live life well with whatever you're given, inspirational type stuff, I go, oh, I'll just use my personal channel I made called Nurse TLC when I made that name back in 2020. So it's just that I already had it. So there you go. Yeah, I've been on gluten. I was on gluten-free diet for years. Now I just cheat a little bit here and there, but when I eat like I said, it's for me, it's a certain amount. Like I can eat like one small roll or something and be fine, or a little bit in soup, or I don't have to be like super. But it used to affect me big time. But yeah, gluten isn't good for you. It's not great for anybody. It can cause a lot of reactions, actually. Oh, it's saying I never plugged in my... Here's the cord. I never plugged in my laptop. Oh, Lord. Told you. Let's plug it in so it doesn't quit on you guys. Okay. Laptop's now plugged in, so it won't go dead on you. Okay. I knew I forgot something major. Yeah, we only got 10 more minutes. Can you believe this? Okay, I'm going to get to some statistics. Thank you. I'm trying. You guys, I'm going to make you guys... Okay, in my one of my videos, it was like a tour of the van before it got taken. And in the shop for 4 very long months. Anyway, there's content coming up where some people asked for my salve recipe, my pain salve recipe. And so I'm going to make it for you guys. I'm going to show you how I make it. I make it in the van. Hopefully I'll be out in nature somewhere when we make it. But I've redone a lot in this van. So there'll be a tour coming up on that. and a lot of different recipes, my tinctures, some of my favorite skincare stuff. I make soap, homemade soap, body products. Because I had a business, I did that for 5 years, and I sold it all over the country. I had a farmer's market stand. So I'm very well versed in herbal medicine. So I'm going to start sharing it with you guys. Okay, let me get to, real quick, and I'll come back to the chat, my notes. Okay, I'm looking, if I look down. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, here's one thing that took a while. Okay, I told you guys I missed my own genetic condition for decades. But it took until my kids developed symptoms, because everybody above me had all the same symptoms and it was normal for my family. And sometimes when things are normal in your family, you're like, it's just normal. It's the way it is. You don't understand that there's a big pattern going on. But then when my kids who were in their 20s started developing some of the same symptoms, it all of a sudden was like, oh, there's something else going on. And if I can somehow tie together all the pieces to the puzzle and figure it out, I'm hoping to save them, because the generation above me, everybody passed at a very young age suddenly. So it's very scary, very, very scary for me, because there's only one aunt above me, and she is the baby, and she's the only one that doesn't seem like she inherited the disorder. But then it's me next as far as age. So 53, I'm basically the oldest in my family almost. So it's very scary, and it's very important for me to figure out what was going on. So there's 2 different types of genetic patterns that I'm going to talk about. It's dominant versus recessive genes. And dominant means, like, if somebody has just one copy of a gene, they can inherit it. So say me and my husband, my ex-husband, he doesn't have the gene, but I have the gene, then my kids have a 50-50 chance of developing it. So that's a dominant. Recessive means he has to have a gene and I have to have a gene. Then our genes come together and then the child inherits it. So that's what the difference between dominant and recessive is. So the genetic condition I have is dominant, so only I have to have the gene, and then my children have a 50-50 chance of getting it. Same thing with the generation above me. There were 5 kids, and 4 appear to have gotten it. That's higher than 50-50, but each child, each time is 50-50 chance. And then my grandma seems to have came from her because of just the symptom pattern, but I don't know for sure. And then my mom and all her siblings, except for one, and then down to me, my sister, and my cousin. So pretty significant and pretty scary, which is why I'm doing this. Okay, let's go back to the thing. Yeah, see, so for Shirley, yeah, she also has a pattern, daughter and grandson. Everyone tested negative, but so that's good. It's hard to 14. When you know, see, like, knowledge is power. When you know, you can go get tested, okay? You can go see the right doctors when you know. That's why I needed to find out what was going on for my children, because then they can get the right testing, the right care. Everybody will know, so they can know what to monitor for. So it's very important to know your family history if you can, if you do know it. Yeah, premiere in 5 minutes, guys. You guys will be kind of shocked. It's like good, and there's pictures of everybody. There's I show my medical record, one of them, and lots of pictures. The story is pretty intense. But yeah. Yeah, look at, yeah, see, Joanne, this is an important thing. When people have severe vascular issues in their family that run in their family, such as she's saying she's had 4 strokes and the first one at age 22, that's super important for your family to know, to see if they have something. Because there's disorders, like I have Ehlers-Danlos, and there is a form of Ehlers-Danlos called vascular Ehlers-Danlos, where people have vascular events at very young ages. And if you don't know that, they can't monitor you. So it's very, very, very important. And there's like 13 types of EDS, or Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I have type 3, which is hypermobile. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, see? Way too young to have a stroke, but 4. So obviously there's something. Oh, it obviously wasn't a stroke from buildup in your arteries and all that. So it had to be hemorrhagic, right? Anyway, you guys, I'm going to tell you statistics and then we'll get out of here and we'll go to the premiere. Let me copy that, because this is going by very quick. There we go. Okay, so let's go through a few statistics and then we'll head over. Okay. Ehlers-Danlos, what I have, affects 1 in 5,000 people, but they believe it's underdiagnosed. The average time to diagnosis is 10 to 12 years. Some studies show 14 years. That's over a decade of being told people don't know, they don't know what's wrong with you. Patients see an average of 20 plus doctors before getting the correct diagnosis. And 80 to 90% also have POTS that are female. It's often diagnosed as anxiety or hormones, and it's actually genetic. So that's why I'm doing this, because doctors dismiss women a lot. So you might get told you have anxiety, or you're just being dramatic, or you're depressed, or your hormones are off, like all kinds of stuff. Luckily, because I'm an RN, they won't tell me that. Because I'll look them straight in the face and tell them, what the heck are you thinking? Like, they don't want me they don't want to tell me stuff like that. It's not going to work. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Joanne. Yeah, that happens. That's sad. Here is the link to the premiere. Yeah, a lot of people give, yeah, oh, for celiac, oh, you have GERD, you have heartburn, you have whatever, you're bloated. Yeah. Yeah. And with strokes, you can have some necrosis, unfortunately, little spots in your brain and stuff. But hopefully they're monitoring you way, way better. Hopefully, Joanne, since they know your history, they can monitor you a lot better. Oh, I'm glad. Good. I'm going to do this every Wednesday, half an hour, 30-minute live. I can't do longer than that because my back and shoulder and the dystonia starts acting up. So let's head over right now. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday. Love you guys. Bye.